On the menu today for this week's meal prep is pineapple barbecue chicken. Made up of chicken thighs, sweet potatoes, broccoli, and pineapple, this meal will get you 49 grams of protein and 555 calories. With only 10 ingredients used, it's also pretty easy to make. Here's how you do it. You'll start off by chopping your sweet potatoes. This recipe calls for 2 large or 3 medium sweet potatoes or 750 grams worth. Cut these into a large dice. You can peel them first if you wish, but I don't mind the skin and it has some good nutrients, so I prefer to leave it on. However, I do cut away all the spots on the outside that creep me out to look at though. I know I'm using 2 different kinds of sweet potatoes here. That was an accident. When I realized it, I said, "Oh, confound it! Where'd this white one come from?" No worries though, it can join its orange brethren, and aside from the contrasting color, it won't have any effect on the final dish. For a garnish, you can thinly slice up some green onions to sprinkle over the top, but this step is optional. Place a large bowl over a scale and add in your chopped potatoes, followed by 1 tablespoon or 15 grams of oil and a sprinkling of salt and pepper. Toss the potatoes around in the bowl to evenly coat them with the oil and seasonings. Then you can spray a sheet pan lightly with oil and spread your potatoes across the surface. The more space they have between pieces, the better. This will help them brown properly instead of steam. Place them into a 425 degree Fahrenheit or 218 degrees Celsius oven for 20 to 25 minutes. Next, let's take care of the broccoli. You'll need 1 pound or 454 grams of it. The cooking method is up to you. Roast it, steam it, microwave it, it doesn't matter, it's broccoli. It all tastes like shit anyway. I joke, but not really. I'm going to be roasting mine, so I toss it with a bit of salt and pepper and spread it out on another oiled sheet pan. This goes into the same 425 degree oven for about 20 minutes or until it is browned properly. You'll want this tray on the top shelf if your potatoes are in there at the same time, because the steam that gets released from the broccoli could prevent the potatoes from browning if this tray was below it. It will also help to leave your oven door slightly cracked to allow the steam to escape. I like to do this by placing a spoon in the door and then closing it so it can't completely shut the whole way. While the vegetables are cooking, let's do the chicken. Place another bowl over a scale and add 1 tablespoon or 15 grams of oil, 2 teaspoons or 6 grams of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon or 3 grams of pepper, and 1 teaspoon or 6 grams of salt. Mix that together to combine and then add 2.5 pounds or 1,135 grams of boneless, skinless chicken thighs. Toss the chicken around in the oil and seasoning so that every nook, cranny, and surface of that chicken has been coated. And now we can cook it. Place a large skillet over medium-high heat and add in your chicken thighs with plenty of space between them. Cook the chicken in batches if necessary to not overcrowd your pan. Let it sit over the heat for about 3 minutes to brown before flipping it over to the other side. You can cook the reverse side for an additional 2 to 3 minutes and then transfer it over to a plate to rest. Continue cooking the second batch and remainder of your chicken and then transfer those to the plate once they have finished as well. Barbecuing this chicken on an outdoor grill would be a nice touch if you have that available to you, or you could also do the bacon broil method that we've done on this channel in the past. At some point while you're cooking that chicken, you're going to need to tend to your broccoli and sweet potatoes. Take each of the trays out from the oven and toss the contents around to get good color on all sides. Return the trays to the oven to finish the cooking process. After your chicken has gone through its first initial cook, you can chop it up into a large dice. It doesn't matter if it isn't cooked all the way through just yet. After we cut it up, it's going back in the skillet. So hack away at it to get it into pieces, and then dump it back in the skillet to finish the cooking and add color to all sides. The purpose of this second cook is mainly to try and get some of that Maillard browning on each piece to add more flavor to the meal. Let this chopped chicken go in the skillet for a couple minutes, and then we can add in the barbecue sauce. When it comes to barbecue sauce, there are whole aisles dedicated to it. I think a more tomato and vinegar forward sauce works best in this recipe, so I chose a Memphis style barbecue sauce. Any kind will work though. To the chicken, add 1/4 of a cup or 60 grams of sauce and stir it to coat the chicken. Continue cooking for a minute or two so that the heat can caramelize some of the sugars in the sauce. Once you've reached that point and your vegetables are finished, you are ready to plate. This recipe will yield you 5 servings. Lay out 5 of your meal prep containers and divide each component evenly into the dishes. As I have stated in the past, if you want to weigh and measure each individual component so that every dish has the same amount, I'm not going to stop you. But I am going to stop myself, because eyeballing it is good enough and it doesn't matter. If you eat all 5 meals over the course of the week, it will all even out in the end. The sum of the parts equals the whole, or whatever those math nerds always say. For the pineapple, I use frozen because it's pre-cut and ready to go. Fresh is obviously great. Canned works too. You'll need 3 cups or 420 grams of pineapple chunks to divide between your dishes. The pineapple is my favorite part of this meal. It gives a bit of tanginess, sweetness, and juiciness that fits so perfectly with the chicken and sweet potatoes. This would also be the time to garnish with some green onions, but I forgot. Each serving of this pineapple barbecue chicken meal prep has about 555 calories and 49 grams of protein. It will last for up to 5 days in your fridge, and you can reheat it in the microwave or the oven. The pineapple can get reheated too, it's good warmed. Whenever your dishes have cooled a bit and they're done steaming, toss on the lids and move them into the fridge for storage for the week. This was one of the original recipes I put up on my site when I began sharing when I was meal prepping. I think this first went up back in 2018 and it stands the test of time. It's a great meal prep dish. It shouldn't take you more than an hour to finish, it's only 10 ingredients, it reheats well, and it's filling. The full recipe with ingredients and instructions is linked in the description below. Add this one to your list of options for an upcoming prep for your work week. If you're in search of more meal prep recipes, check out these 2 videos linked here. Alright, I've had enough of this, bye.